Okay, well, our master's program and our EDS program are designed for educators seeking an advanced degree in elementary education, assuming that your background is already in elementary education. We would like to prepare individuals to become an expert in your chosen field by building your knowledge base and a skill set that would be useful to you in the classroom and also as a potential researcher. We ultimately want to meet the needs of you and hope to individualize the program as much as we can so that we're meeting the goals of both UA and also the goals that you have for yourself. Our typical students are usually employed full-time. That's why this program is online, so that you can do it at a time and a schedule that is useful to you. We typically have our students are usually teachers or some sort of other professional educator in a public or private K-12 schools, or in some capacity where you're working with young children, elementary age children. Our program for the Master's and EDS in elementary education are 30 credit hours. It's online, but all the coursework is taught by the UA faculty. For our Master's, in addition to coursework, you would enroll in 12 credit hours in a teaching field of your choice. So if your interest is in language arts or literacy or social studies or a particular area, you can tailor your program a little bit so that you can add sort of expertise or specialty in a current area. For EDS, our core courses include research seminars, so not only are you learning the practitioner side of elementary education, but you're becoming a bit of a research person in that you are working in seminars tailored also, again, to fields that are interesting to you. So you will take a little bit of general education classes, like we all are generalists in elementary, but we will specialize a little bit in an area that's of particular interest to you. Here are some of the sample listings of the courses that we offer. You can see for our Master's, we have an Intro to Ed Research. You probably have a background in your undergraduate courses in some kind of educational research. This one's a little bit deeper knowledge that we explore. We have an evaluation of classroom learning, also some assessment in that course. We have computer-based instruction, which is a really interesting class, technology-driven education. I'm sure that's very current in your classrooms. We have 532, which is an elementary school curriculum option, and we have 574, which is guided pupil learning, a lot of brain-based discussion in that class. We have a foundations option for you, so you get a little play in your schedule about what things you might like to study a little bit more in depth in that foundations class, and some electives as well. So you do have some criteria that is established for you that is not a choice, and then you have some that are your choice. And then also we have an SPE survey course that's required if you've not previously completed one, and you could look at, you and your advisors would look at your schedule, your transcript, and decide if you needed to put that into your program of study or not. Additionally, in the teaching field, you have 12 credit hours, and this is where that specialty comes in again. So often students choose one specialty topic, and because you have 12 credit hours, we recommend 2 specialties. So that gives you a little bit deeper knowledge in 2 subject areas. EDS program of study, yours will be a little bit deeper knowledge as you've already obtained your master's prior to your EDS coursework. You'll be doing things like topical research review, specialist degree research, and you can see that these are pretty general in terms. Research seminar science curriculum, research seminar social studies, social science curriculum, and math education research. Again, there's an advanced seminar in literacy, so you have your background in those field areas, and this delves into research potentially interesting to you, and also that is in line with the professor's field of study as well. You'll have specialists that teach you specifically criteria and current work that is showing to be effective in the research field in those areas, and then you would actually get to tailor some of your coursework relative to what is interesting to you and what you're doing in your classrooms now. So that's, you can involve some of your own expertise and some of your own interest from your current work. You have a foundations course like the masters do, education research course. You have an advisor-approved research course, an advisor-approved elective course, and a special ed survey course, again, if not previously completed, and you would decide that with your advisor. For our master's in EDS, we do require an undergraduate GPA of 3.0 or a 3.0 average for the last 60 hours in a degree program, or if you have a 3.0 or higher in a completed graduate degree program. We require a minimum score of 300 on the GRE, or we also give the option for our master's students and our EDS students to take the MAT, and we require a 50th percentile score on the MAT for application. Our application deadlines are July 1st for our fall deadline, November 1st for the spring deadline, and April 1st for summer application deadline. As far as admissions, the graduate school and the university will require that you have, if you're applying for our master's online program, you'll need a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution, and you'll need an Alabama Class B certification in elementary ed or an equivalent. Our student services can review your transcripts if you have questions with that, and we specifically have a certification office that can look at your certification if you're transferring from a different state or have a question about if it would be counted or not. Those wouldn't be questions for me, but I can refer you to someone who can help you with that. Our EDS application requirements are that you have a master's degree from an accredited institution. We do require accreditation on your prior degree, and you have to have a Class A certification in elementary education or the equivalent. Again, we can refer you to someone who can help you with that if you're coming from out of state. A completed application for us would include a statement of purpose. That's a writing sample sort of what you are hoping to gain from the program, in what ways you hope to grow, your reason for studying further, your intent about what you might like to do with a degree post-graduation. And I don't think there's a minimum length requirement on that, but it is a sample of your writing, and it should give your advisor, your potential advisor, some degree and sense of who you are and what your aim is through the program, and so that they can guide you in a way that the courses that you take and the experiences that you get are tailored to meet your needs. We require 3 letters of recommendation for both our master's and our EDS students. One of those 3 we require to be from a principal or whoever your supervisor is in your work. So the other 2 are your choice as to whom you might get to write those letters of recommendation. We often have former professors from other classes, other universities. We have coworkers. We have had all kinds of different people, parents of children that you've taught. Anyone who knows your work history and your scholastic history would be appropriate for those, but one of those must be from someone who is your administrator, principal, or supervisor. We require official transcripts from all the institutions that you've attended, and they do want all of them. So if you have several, you need to get all of those together and send them, have those universities send them officially. They won't take unofficial transcripts. And you also have to apply through the graduate school's application that's on their website.
Thank you, Dr. Swain. Distance learning students pay a flat hourly tuition rate regardless of residency. The rate does not include any applicable course fees or books. Students have the option to purchase access to the Student Health Center and the Student Recreation Center. Unfortunately, you must be enrolled as a campus student in order to be eligible for athletic tickets. The College of Continuing Studies offers scholarships to students who are enrolled in Bama by Distance degree programs. To apply for scholarships, you must first be admitted to the university. Applications are accepted year-round, and scholarships are awarded each semester. As a distance learner, you will have access to the same resources available to campus students. You are eligible to apply for federal financial aid. Students eligible for military educational assistance may use the educational benefits here at the University of Alabama. Distance learners have access to all university library resources, including access to scholarly databases, assistance with writing and citation, tools and tips for research, and the Interlibrary Loan Program. In the next few days, you'll receive an email with information that includes important website addresses, resources, and contact information, as well as a link to the recorded session. We'd like to thank you for joining us today. And at this time, I'm going to put up the contact information for Dr. Swain and myself, so that if you do have further questions, you may reach out to us. However, at this time, I'm going to open it up for questions. You remember, you can type those in the text box on the left-hand side, and we'll be happy to address those. While we're waiting on some of the prospective students to type questions, Dr. Swain, I'm going to ask a couple that I generally get from prospective students so that you can help us with those as well.
Okay.
Do you do conditional admission? Say my GPA was high, but my test score just didn't quite make the mark. Do you do conditional admission?
We do have conditional admittance for our master's and EDS students. That's the review process goes to the graduate school first, and then they send over all applications to our department. We follow guidelines, but there is a little bit of leeway as far as reviewing the transcripts in consideration of GPA and other scores.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, do you have to be a teacher? Do you have to be teacher certified, or can you become certified through the program?
We require a certification prior to our master's and EDS students, so they have to, as the slide shows, they have to come in with their Class B or Class A certification depending on their program area. But these also are certification programs, so they would earn their A as master's and their AA through the EDS program. We do offer an alternative certification master's for someone coming in without an elementary ed background. So if you are in a different field and you're interested in this, that's a different program. It's not online, but we do have that option for people who are coming in that are not from a background of teaching.
Thank you. How strict is your November 1st, April 1st, and those deadlines for admission?
We try to adhere to those deadlines, but we also understand that some people come into this late, and also because we're an online program, there is a little bit of leeway through that. The graduate school may require certain deadlines, but if there is someone who's kind of close to that but might not make it, if they'll email me, then I can be aware that their application might be a few days late, and I can advocate on their behalf in some cases.
Okay, thank you. Are there certain times students have to log in for classes even though it is online?
Different courses have different expectations, and all course syllabi would be very clear about what is expected in that course. I won't speak for every professor, but there are certain expectations for the classes that would be enrolled in online, and those would be spelled out at the very beginning before drop an ad, and if someone couldn't do that, then they would not, they could be aware of that and not take that at that time. Generally, many of the classes have options as far as times because they are online classes, but I won't say that there aren't specifics spelled out in certain
Very good,
courses.
thank you. Wait another couple of minutes and see if we have any other questions. Is there anything else you would like to add while we're waiting?
The only other thing that I can think about would be the question about potential research opportunities, because some people, because they are online, they feel like they wouldn't have the opportunity for that. Our professors are very aware that these are upper-level college students that might be interested in opportunities beyond their coursework, and are very open to collaborating with their students as far as presentations and publications and efforts as far as research opportunities, particularly for those who are interested maybe in a trajectory towards from the master's to the EDS level or the EDS to the doctorate level. That would be something really great on your resume, and obviously something that would be in your field of interest if you're planning on doing upper level research. So our professors are very open to making those situations happen and to providing those opportunities to be interested in that.
Thank you. And one final question. Is there ever a time that students will be required to come to campus for any class meeting?
Our master's is online, and I don't say that there are no times when it would be required, but it would obviously be very upfront in the curriculum, very upfront in the syllabi, and the professors are very well aware that these are online masters in EDS. So I would say that that would be rare. I won't speak for every professor that won't happen, but it is an online program for students, and I think that typically most of their assignments, most of their readings, most of their coursework will be online.
Very good, thank you. I think that takes care of our questions for the day. Dr. Swain, I would really like to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us this afternoon and providing us with this great information. Again, our contact information is up on the screen, so if you have additional questions in the future, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, and we'll be glad to assist you either with the admission process or direct questions about the program. We'll be more than happy to assist you. Again, Dr. Swain, thank you, and roll tide.
Thank you, and let me know if I can help in any way. If there's someone who didn't get to ask a question or wanted to ask something that was very specific to them or their program of study, my email is on here, and I'll be more than willing to respond to you. And if I don't know the answer, I can find someone who does. So just email me, or if you found that I wasn't clear on something, please email me, because I'd like to clarify it and find the answer that you need. Thank you all for being here, and we hope that you all choose Alabama for your graduate program.
Thank you, Dr. Swain.